Welcome to the Disabled Podcast, starring your host, Christian Reitz.
Hot dog, let's go!
Welcome to the Disabled Podcast, the show that incorporates disabilities with the magic of Disney. Welcome to episode number 6, entitled Pin Trading. Be sure to use our hashtag the Disabled Podcast when sharing this podcast to all of your social media platforms. Now again, that's hashtag the Disabled Podcast when sharing this podcast to all social media platforms. And now, here is your host, Christian Reitz. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very, very late episode of the Disabled Podcast. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these podcasts, but honestly, things in my life have just been crazy. A lot with work and with things like that, and different vacations that have been going on. Not to Disney World. That's actually coming up soon, which I will talk about that towards the end of the episode here today. But again, it's just been a really, really busy last few weeks. And really, I've just been trying to get things out to you guys as quickly as possible. But again, things come up all the time. So I'm just trying to make sure that my episodes that come out to you guys, no matter what streaming platform you're on right now, are the most effective. And honestly, they're just the most not really time consuming in a bad way, but really that they're the most informative, and that they just take up a good part of your day. Even if it's just for 15, 20 minutes. But I want to make sure that all of my podcasts are on time as best as I can. Try to get these things out to you as soon as I possibly can. But again, yeah, that's just kind of what's been going on. So a lot of work has been going on, and just things in my life have come up. And so I have not been able to get a podcast out to you guys as of lately. But right now, that is all changing with this week's episode of the Disabled Podcast. So let's talk today about today's episode, which we're going to talk all about pin trading at the Walt Disney World Resort. So without any further ado, let's get on with the episode. All right, so first we're going to talk a little bit about the history of pin trading at the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, pin trading actually began at the Millennium Celebration at Epcot. And what Disney did was Disney actually made special pins that guests would be able to trade and collect with the different cast members at Epcot. And people actually really caught on to it very quickly, and it quickly became a popular way to enjoy the parks and to connect with the different cast members. And so now I bet you're probably wondering, okay, well, Christian, what exactly is pin trading? Well, it's very simple. So Disney actually has pins available at the different gift shops, and you can actually bring Disney pins with you that you bought, whether it's at a outlet store, a Disney outlet store, or you could buy some at the parks or at the official Disney stores online, and you can trade one of your pins with a cast member for one from their collection. Now, cast members often wear lanyards, or they have boards full of pins to choose from. And so when you see a pin you like, basically you trade one of your pins for it. And the great part about this is that there's no money involved. This is one of the most free things you can do on Disney property. Now, if you're like me and you use a wheelchair, and you're saying, well, Christian, accessibility is really a problem for me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach the pin boards or to see the cast members that have the different lanyards. And that's okay. Most pin boards are actually placed at accessible heights so that you can reach them easily. And if you find one that's too high, you can always ask a cast member to bring the pins closer for you to see. And often, again, like I said, they'll also have them on your lanyards as well. So at the different parks and resorts, they'll have the lanyards on, and they'll bend down to your level, and they'll let you just see the different pins, and they'll explain the different pins, what they have, and you can just choose your own pin for one of theirs. Now, you don't have to have a heavy lanyard full of pins if that is very uncomfortable for you. In fact, many people, what they'll often do is they'll carry their pins in small bags or softboards on their laps or clips. Or they might even have them clipped somewhere that's easy for them to reach. Now, the goal is to make pin trading as accessible, accessible and comfortable and easy for you. Now, if you have a sensory sensory auditory processing issues. If the parks can feel noisy or crowded, you can try trading pins during some of the quieter times. Now, usually that would be like early morning or later in the day when it tends to be calmer. And also, some of the gift shops at the Disney resorts are often the most quieter and greater places to trade if you want to look for that calm setting. And usually, those are not the busiest places at all because people are actually going to the parks. Now, if handling small pins, because again, these pins they can range in from little pins to a little bit bigger pins. They're pretty small pins in general. So if handling small pins is hard for you, you can actually ask for rubber backs or magnetic pins. Now, these are often easier to use rather than the standard metal backs they have on all the pins at the different resorts and the different theme parks. Now, you might also carry a small tool to help put pins on or take them off. And if you want help, again, cast members are always there to help you out. Okay, so now let's talk about where you can find pin trading in Walt Disney World. Now, cast members with pins are everywhere in the parks and resorts. So you can look for them near big gift shops like the Emporium at Magic Kingdom, the Creation Shop in Epcot, or even Wind Traders in Pandora at Animal Kingdom. Now, you can also trade pins at the Disney Springs shopping area and at many resort gift shops like those at the Contemporary Resort, or the Polynesian Village, or the Animal Kingdom Lodge, or basically anywhere on Disney property. Now, trading at resort shops, for a big tip if you want one, is often quieter and it's a nice break from the busier park days. So for me, that would be like if I have a day off from a theme park and I just want to go to the different resorts, I would bring my lanyard to trade pins with the cast members. And what that allows me to do is just to have fun, but to do it at my own pace. It really is a great way to slow down and enjoy a small magical moment. Now, pin trading can also be a wonderful way to make memories, and each pin you trade can remind you of that special time or place in your trip to Walt Disney World. Now, maybe it's the pin you got while you were watching the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, or maybe it was the one from a quiet moment in a resort gift shop at your resort that you stayed at. Now, these little pins can become stories that you carry home, and they can last from generation to generation. Now, if you're just starting out, here's a tip. Buy a starter set of pins or choose a few pins that you really like before your trip. That way you'll have something to trade right away. And don't worry about trading for rare or expensive pins just yet. Really the fun is in the experience of pin trading and not just in the value of it all. And also, don't be afraid to just take your time. Don't feel like you have to be overwhelmed and rushing and you have to go to this place to get pin trading and this place and this place. It's okay to pause or skip pin trading for a while. You can always come back later because, again, Disney's about the fun and not the pressure. Now, if you want to make pin trading even easier, you want to make sure that you prepare all of your pins before your trip, which means organizing them in a way that's simple for you. Maybe it's either in a small pouch, or even on a felt board that you can hold. Some people actually carry their pins, and I've seen this on online, where they actually carry their pins in plastic bags to keep them sorted and to keep them together. And it usually works for a lot of people. So again, having your pins ready helps make trading smooth and less stressful. And remember, you don't need to trade every time you see a pin. Sometimes just looking at the pin or talking with a cast member about them can be enough to brighten your day and to make it a really cool experience for you. Look, pin trading is also a great way to connect with cast members as well, because many of them actually love sharing stories about the pins and Disney characters. Now, if you feel up to chatting to them, that can even actually make the experience even more special for you. But if you prefer quiet, that's also okay too, because cast members will respect your space and enjoy the moment with you, however you choose. Now, like pin trading is a small, powerful way to enjoy Disney on your own terms. Now, if it slows things down, it adds sparkle to your day, and it gives you a little treasure to take home. And really, it really what pin trading is really supposed to do, and what your entire trip is supposed to do, is to make memories that will last a lifetime, even after your trip ends. Well, guys, that's all the time I have for this week's episode of the Disable Podcast. And before I end this episode, I want to tell you guys about the very next episode that's coming in about 4 weeks, which I know is usually different from the 2 to 3 week period than normal. That's because I'm actually going to be doing a very special on location episode at, drumroll please, the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. Me and my family are going to be staying at a resort near there. So we'll have a couple days to go explore the theme parks. And we're going to be doing 2 parks a day on Tuesday and Thursday, which I'm very excited about. So I will be doing a very special episode at Walt Disney World live. So you don't want to miss that next episode coming in just 4 weeks. I promise you guys, it will be one of the coolest episodes. And we're actually going to be doing a very special game in this episode. In fact, I'm even calling this one Pin, Snack, or Something Else. So you don't want to miss the special episode of the Disable Podcast coming to you real soon. Well, guys, that's all the time I have for this week's episode of the Disable Podcast. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and we'll see ya
Real soon.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of the Disable Podcast. Be sure to use our hashtag the Disable Podcast, when sharing this podcast to all of your social media platforms. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see ya real soon.